A world engulfed, setting the stage for global war. The world watched in horror as a dark cloud of war descended upon Europe. The skies were filled with the ominous roar of warplanes, a harbinger of the devastation to come. It was 1939, and the seeds of conflict, sown in the aftermath of the First World War, had finally borne their bitter fruit. The landscape, scarred by the previous war, now faced the prospect of even greater destruction. The Treaty of Versailles, meant to ensure peace, had instead bred resentment and instability. The harsh terms imposed on Germany created a fertile ground for anger and discontent. Germany, burdened by crippling reparations and territorial losses, seethed with anger and a thirst for revenge. The economic hardship and national humiliation fueled a desire to reclaim lost glory. The rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party, with their ideology of hatred and expansionism, further fanned the flames of conflict. Hitler's fiery rhetoric and promises of a restored Germany resonated with a populace desperate for change. Across the globe, tensions simmered. Nations fortified their borders and engaged in a precarious dance of diplomacy and military posturing. In Asia, Japan, driven by imperial ambitions, cast a covetous eye on its neighbors. Their aggressive expansionism threatened the fragile balance of power in the region. The League of Nations, created to prevent another global war, proved powerless to stop the slide towards chaos. Despite their efforts, the organization lacked the authority and unity to enforce peace. The world held its breath, bracing for a conflict that would reshape the geopolitical landscape forever. Borders would be redrawn, alliances tested, and the very fabric of nations altered. The invasion of Poland by Nazi Germany on September 1, 1939, shattered the fragile peace. This act of aggression was the spark that ignited the global conflagration. Great Britain and France, bound by treaties to defend Poland, declared war on Germany. Their declarations marked the official beginning of the Second World War. The Second World War, the deadliest conflict in human history, had begun. The world would soon witness unprecedented levels of destruction, suffering and heroism as nations clashed in a battle for survival and supremacy. The Blitzkrieg, Germany's lightning war across Europe. Germany unleashed a new form of warfare, the Blitzkrieg. This lightning war relied on speed, surprise and overwhelming force. Panzer divisions, spearheaded by tanks and supported by dive bombers, smashed through enemy lines, leaving chaos and destruction in their wake. Poland, caught off guard, was overrun in weeks. Denmark, Norway, the Netherlands, Belgium and France fell in rapid succession. The speed and ferocity of the German advance stunned the world. The seemingly invincible French army, humbled and defeated, signed an armistice with Germany. Western Europe lay under the iron heel of Nazi occupation. Only Great Britain, protected by the English Channel and the Royal Air Force, stood defiant. The Eastern Front, a clash of titans in the East, where two of the most powerful military forces of the time collided in a brutal and unforgiving conflict. Emboldened by his victories in the West, Hitler turned his attention eastward, believing that a swift and decisive campaign would bring the Soviet Union to its knees. In June 1941, he launched Operation Barbarossa, the largest military invasion in history, aiming to conquer the vast territories of the Soviet Union. The vastness of Russia, with its harsh winters and unforgiving terrain, would prove to be a formidable challenge for the German forces, who were unprepared for such extreme conditions. The initial German advance was swift, capturing vast swathes of territory. But the Red Army, though initially ill-prepared for the onslaught, fought back with ferocious determination and resilience. The Battle of Moscow, a brutal struggle fought in sub-zero temperatures, marked the first major setback for the Wehrmacht, shattering the myth of their invincibility. The Eastern Front would become a grinding war of attrition, a relentless battle for every inch of ground, where victory would be measured not just in territory gained, but in the immense blood and sacrifice of countless soldiers on both sides. The Pacific Theater from Pearl Harbor to Hiroshima. This chapter delves into the intense and transformative events that shaped the course of World War II in the Pacific. While war raged in Europe, the Pacific theater witnessed its own share of horrors. The vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean became a battleground where nations clashed for supremacy. Japan, determined to secure its dominance in Asia, launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, drawing the United States into the global conflict. This attack marked a turning point, igniting a fierce and relentless war. The Pacific War was characterized by brutal island-hopping campaigns, naval battles of unprecedented scale, and aerial combat that pushed the limits of technology. Each island captured was a step closer to Japan, but each battle came with a heavy toll. From the Coral Sea to Midway, from Iwo Jima to Okinawa, American and Japanese forces clashed in a fight to the death. These battles were marked by extraordinary bravery and devastating losses on both sides. The dropping of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945 brought a swift and devastating end to the war in the Pacific, ushering in the nuclear age and casting a long shadow over the future. The world would never be the same again, as the power of nuclear weapons became a stark reality. Turning the tide key battles that changed the course of the war. The tide of war began to turn. The Battle of El Alamein in North Africa marked the beginning of the end for the Axis powers in that theatre. The Allied invasion of Sicily and Italy in 1943 opened up a new front in Europe, weakening German forces. On June 6, 1944, D-Day, Allied forces stormed the beaches of Normandy, France, in the largest amphibious invasion in history. The liberation of Western Europe had begun. In the east, the Red Army, bolstered by a seemingly endless supply of manpower and resources, pushed back the Wehrmacht, liberating Eastern Europe and eventually capturing Berlin. The human cost stories of resilience, sacrifice, and loss. Behind the grand narratives of battles and campaigns lay the human stories of World War II. Ordinary men and women from all walks of life were caught in the maelstrom, their lives forever changed by the conflict. Soldiers endured unimaginable hardships on the front lines, facing death and destruction on a daily basis. Civilians on the home front faced rationing, bombing raids, and the constant fear of invasion. Women played a crucial role in the war effort, working in factories, shipyards, and hospitals, keeping their countries running while their husbands, fathers, and sons were away fighting. Section 7. The Holocaust, a dark chapter in human history. Amidst the horrors of World War II, the Holocaust stands as a chilling reminder of the depths of human depravity. Driven by a hateful ideology of racial purity, the Nazi regime systematically murdered 6 million Jews and millions of others deemed undesirable. From the ghettos to the concentration camps, the Nazi genocide machine operated with ruthless efficiency, leaving an indelible stain on human history. The Holocaust is a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked hatred, intolerance, and the fragility of human civilization. Section 8. The aftermath shaping the post-war world. The world emerged from World War II a vastly different place. The war had claimed the lives of an estimated 40 to 85 million people, leaving countless others physically and emotionally scarred. Cities lay in ruins, economies were shattered, and the political map of the world had been redrawn. The United Nations was founded in 1945 with the goal of preventing future wars and promoting international cooperation. The Cold War, a geopolitical rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union, would dominate the latter half of the 20th century, shaping global politics and leading to proxy wars and a nuclear arms race. Section 9. Legacies of War. The enduring impact of World War II. The legacies of World War II continue to shape the world today. The war led to the decline of European colonialism and the rise of the United States and the Soviet Union as superpowers. It accelerated technological advancements from jet engines and radar to computers and nuclear weapons. The war also had a profound impact on social and cultural norms, leading to changes in gender roles, racial attitudes, and the role of government in society. The European Union, a project born out of the ashes of World War II, stands as a testament to the enduring desire for peace and cooperation among European nations. Section 10. Lessons learned, reflections on a global conflict. World War II offers profound lessons about the dangers of nationalism, the importance of international cooperation, and the need to confront hatred and intolerance in all its forms. It reminds us of the human capacity for both great evil and extraordinary courage and resilience. As we reflect on the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II, we must never forget the sacrifices made by those who fought and died in that conflict. We owe it to them to learn from the mistakes of the past and to work tirelessly to build a more peaceful and just world for all.